Hi, I'm Rob from Durham, New Hampshire. I have a 2022 Braxton Creek Bushwhacker 10 HD. So I'm down here at the Southeast Bushwhacker Boil. I drove caravan down with Brian Smith. We met up in Pennsylvania and did a 2-day trip down. And for the first time ever in my life, I camped in a Cracker Barrel parking lot. I didn't know that was a thing. Brian did. It was interesting, but it worked. It was good.
But no, I'm real excited to do Rob's tour of his Bushwhacker. He's got this thing pretty hooked up. Let's start with the galley.
Sure. So I'm not much for I'm not someone to rip out the kitchen and rebuild it. That's not me. But I did do a few simple things. You know, instead of the cooler, I just put in some drawers for storage. I prefer to have storage. I keep my refrigerator outside the camper. This was something I saw on the Facebook group, and I copied them, and a cutting board that's just glued to the top so it goes to the edge and stuffs things in here like whatever, random stuff. The shelf, also from the Facebook group, saw other people do it. This is just a $6 shelving from Home Depot or something. Other than that, I mean, nothing too exciting. Just a shower rod tension bar up here to hold in these random little cups that came out of toolboxes.
Yeah, so that's like a rigid toolbox from Home Depot or something. You're just taking the trays. I see you got plenty of power. We're off the beaten path here. Definitely no electric pedestals. So you're working with some solar.
Yeah, there's a 200-watt panel on the roof that's not pulling in much. So for the first time ever, I didn't have enough. I ran low on power, but that's why we have the PPSs, right? So 100 watts down here to try to supplement charging up the PPSs, a 50-watt one here hanging off the side.
Oh, nice. So we've got, we're off the grid for a few days, but we've had plenty of power.
Yeah, hasn't been a problem.
So I see you have a little bit of a faucet mod.
So that's part of, when we swing around on the other side, we'll see it's part of the Julka system. I bought into their ecosystem. And so when I want to do dishes, or clean dishes, I should say, using hot water to clean dishes, I don't think I need to explain why that's a little better than cold water. But so I just wired in here so it'll drain out through to the gray water bucket.
Nice. So I see you do have your refrigerator outside. It's the Bouge RV.
Yeah, that's the 37 liter.
Yeah, the 37 liter.
Yeah, throw it up on here, so because it's always outside, it gets wet, so I don't want rivers running into it. So
that can run off of the camper's battery, but it can also run off your power station.
Exactly. Yeah. So the reason why I like keeping the fridge outside as opposed to building something inside, which a lot of people do, and is great because you don't have to lug it around, it's just always there. But I use mine in a lot of other places too. I didn't want to buy multiple fridges. Like I use it at home sometimes. I take it to the beach. It's got a battery pack in it that'll power it for 4 or 5 hours, so I can bring it out to the beach or to parties or, block parties, things like that. So I like having the flexibility to wheel it around, and that's why I happen to keep it outside versus building one in there.
Now, one of the things I noticed is you did a really good job with accessorizing storage. So you bolted on the Harbor Freight boxes to the back for some small storage.
Carry little bits and bobs.
This is the Julka system, the hot tap heater.
Yep. So, the same ladder that everyone else uses. I copied that and just it's on a bracket inside the case to keep some of the nozzles
strapped
and
to
stuff.
the ladder. The ladder comes down to the fender, and then above us you have an Iron Man with the end cap.
Have you ever seen one of these before?
This is the first one, first time. But there's a reason why everyone has them. They're nice.
Yeah, it does the job well. I mean, I have the room too, but I almost never use it. I prefer just sitting outside even if it's raining. But I do sometimes put up the wall just to give a little,
I love this end wall that gives you a lot more space, and it gives you a spot like you're doing, just to tuck a table in. We had some pretty intense rain last night.
It was coming down pretty good for a while, wasn't
it? The awning held up pretty well.
Yeah.
Now you have some custom graphics.
Custom from Amazon. I just try to get a little trees on there. That's the one Bushwhacker sign I left on.
Jeff Bezos painted those himself?
Yeah, well, obviously, right? I'm all about quality.
I know what that is.
Yeah,
How do you like the jockey up?
Works great. I mean, once I got a pickup truck, being able to flip the tailgate down is nice. So
able to take now yours has some fitment issues. We've been banging it in and out. We might have to grind it out a little while.
I just got to take an angle grinder to it and shave a little off or something. Yeah.
Nice. Now this is your battery box?
Yep. It's So I'll apologize now. It's pretty messy. I haven't really cleaned this up, but I mean, I keep, blocks in here, but the battery, the solar charger.
All right, yeah, you got a disconnect. You have a 100 amp hour AGM?
Yes. Yep.
Well, this is another testament to what we've been telling people. Your whole setup, minus the power stations, the panels on the roof, I mean, you charge in any weather. We live in the Northeast.
Yep.
And this trip, which was extremely demanding, 100 degrees and the fridge was screaming, and we just started to get to the low end of power after a few days.
I did, yep. So that's why I had the PPS.
About 4 days, right?
4 days.
Maybe even 5.
You're getting into big math now, Brian. It's a bit much.
We forgot how many days we've been here, but we did stay at a Cracker Barrel and used our solar to power the fridges.
Oh, this is something you'll like. Well, on either side of the tongue box, wired in a cigarette socket to plug. So that's usually when I plug, depending on which side I have my fridge on. That's the refrigerator one here.
Very nice.
I plug it on either side, but following some of your videos on DIY outdoor life, I put an Anderson power port plug in here.
Very nice.
To run the camper off the
portable power station.
If I want to power the whole camper.
Yeah, so we didn't even have to get into that. We were just powering off the stock battery.
That's right.
And solar. Now that's your Joule extension for the shower?
Yeah, so I had the kick-ass shower awning, which a lot of people have, but Julka came out with their version, and I like their stuff. So I bought their awning because the walls go up all the way. You can adjust how high it is off the ground. I don't need to go into the details comparing the two, but so yeah, this is the awning. I just run the hoses because the heater's on the other side over the roof, and
now I can testify. You've been able to take a hot shower every day, and you're drawing your water out of the French Broad River.
Right, so I wouldn't say I'm taking hot showers, maybe like cool to lukewarm, because who wants a hot shower when it's 100 degrees, but it's a good way to, rinse off.
So you don't have to draw water from your reservoir. There's a pump, and you just kick that hose out to a water source, and it can pull through.
I either pull from a water source, or I just have a jug I pull from. I haven't bothered hooking up yet to pull from the tank, because I actually don't really use the tank on board.
Nice.
But, yeah, the shower head.
We're making the poor guy take apart his stuff. But yeah, nice shower head. And it looks pretty sturdy for something that just kind of extends out over the end. I like it.
Yeah, I like these, they kind of lock and click into place so they don't flop around. It's got a cover that can go over the top so you can shower in the rain without getting rainwater on your.
Something like that's nice. I mean, I brought nothing for this setup, and even just changing like your pants when it's raining out in a teardrop, it's nice. We do have, well, not anymore, but we did have some neighbors.
We did.
And to give yourself a little privacy awning there is nice.
Yeah. So you've done a lot of these videos on the channel. I bet no one knows what it looks like inside a 10 HD.
First time for everyone.
Yeah.
But I see mods. You want with blue lights?
Yeah, so they're dimmable, and then they can switch to blue because the factory ones are way too bright.
Got the Lux Pro system, but there's something a little different. We got a Renogy battery monitor, so you can check inside. I see your battery is just a little lower than it should be.
It is a little low. So swap this to a dimmer switch and put some orange tape over it. So, I mean, this is another one I got from the Facebook group, just a piece of wood with some rare earth magnets on the back. Clip it on the fender anyway. It's just a great way to add some extra shelving. You stick it on either side in any orientation, and it's handy.
Little things like that change the whole setup. So this is like a command strip.
Exactly. Those things, it's amazing what they can survive. All the time on the road and mud and snow, rain, they stay on there.
So camping with you for a few days, I've been impressed with some of this setups here. Show me this little light, this amber.
Yeah.
This illuminates the whole campsite.
Yeah, so it's, I don't remember if it was Facebook or wherever, but one of those suggested ads came up, and I'm like, ooh, that looks neat. So it's called a Light Ranger, and it's a telescoping thing with a large light on the top that pops off. It has a large battery in it. This thing lasts a while. And then there's various color lenses you can put on. There's a red one, an amber one. I keep the orange one or the amber one on because the white is just way too bright. This thing puts out a lot of light. But there's LED panels on each side. So depending on when you click it, you get either all 4 panels or 2 or 1. So,
well, the thing's pretty slick, and it folds down like a mic stand or something to a real small package. But I was pretty into it. We're we're next to each other, and it kind of lit up the whole campsite without bringing all the bugs in.
Yeah.
Now you're using the jet boil system?
Well, so it varies. You know, sometimes I'll boil water on the propane stove, but this is just from, you know, my motorcycle camping days. This is just so much more efficient and fast. So I'll boil water with that to do pour over coffee. If I have plenty of power, if I'm on shore power, I'll just use the little coffee pot back there instead.
Yeah, but I mean, in the pouring rain, neither of us can use our galley. So it's nice to have a little spot like this to be able to make coffee. You can never have too many of these. This is the Sterilite version.
Yep.
But they're stackable. They're tough.
Exactly.
Essentials.
Just catch-alls, yeah. Yep.
And now the Igloo coolers, we're using the water in the Bushwhacker for a few things, but we don't drink it.
Right. So I generally, if I bring this, because I knew it was going to be hot here, this is where I put I'll just dump a bag of ice and 5 gallons of Poland spring water. This is my drinking water, coffee water. Something like this, I'll fill up at the campsite. This is for rinsing stuff, washing hands, rinsing off your feet, whatever, you know.
Well, so I use the water reservoir, I think, more than you. It's handy, but I don't drink it. So it's nice to have a little station like this for brushing your teeth. And
well, I'd use it, but a hose snapped on the first day, so, you know.
We'll work on fixing that. How do you like the little Goal Zero crush light?
Oh, yeah, I've had this thing for probably 10, 15 years. I mean, it works great. Yeah, it's just great for adding like a little, sometimes I'll just strap it up top in the Easy Up, and it just gives like a nice glow ambient light, not too bright, but just enough to see where you're going or to find your campsite when you're walking back from the party down the street, right?
Especially when there's 20 Bushwhackers here, it's tough to see which one's yours.
Exactly.
All right, well, I appreciate it. I want to take a little peek at the tow vehicle, and then we'll head off.
Oh, get to talk about the tow vehicle. So this is fairly new to me. I got this in November, so it's whatever, a few months old, but it's one of the new Frontiers, Nissan Frontiers. So I just, it's a midsize, if anyone isn't familiar, but
waterproof storage.
Well,
I see some boxes that you have.
Not quite waterproof, but yeah, I like the retractable hard awning.
Very nice.
It's a load bearing.
And this Volt system by Pelican, you have a couple of these, don't you?
No, just this one. It's like just a rifle case or something, but yeah, just extra dry storage, you know.
How have you liked towing with the new Nissan?
It's pretty good, especially if I'm trying to keep up with you on the highway. It does well, yeah.
Yeah, it can go 90.
Yeah, no problems there. I don't think any mid-sized pickup would have a problem towing a Bushwhacker.
All right, well, we're having a good time. We'll wrap this one up. Rob and I have been hanging out for a few days. There's chances are we might end up in a Cracker Barrel again tonight.
It could happen.
We're going to hit the road, and I will do a follow-up video all about cracker docking because
it's a good name. That might catch on.
Yeah, it's something that most Teardrop folks should know about. But Rob, thanks. It's been a blast.
My pleasure, Brian. Thank you.
And we will see you guys on the Bushwhacker Facebook group.
So I just want to say, Brian, thank you. And a lot of the ideas I have that I did to my trailer, like the solar panel on the roof, the battery cutoff switch, the radio kill switch, the digital T-stat, all those I got from watching your channel. So thank you very much. If anyone's new to this stuff, you can pick up a lot of great ideas from DIY Outdoor Life. I recommend checking it out. And yeah, thanks again. I look forward to the next time we can meet up. Hi, Katie.